just a heads up. This episode, it's a little weird.
Weird ep, not our best. Kooky guest. We didn't know what the hell was going on, but good luck with it. We tried.
We tried.
Hey, folks, we might be drunk. We're here. This is it. Oh, shoot. Maybe I jumped the gun here. I think they like all the fun. Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Because I want to talk into the mic.
That would help.
Let me explain my years in show business.
We got Al Franken, everybody.
Al Franken.
Good to have you, Big Al.
Our first senator ever.
Hey!
Really?
Well, we had Orrin Hatch on. We had Orrin Hatch that one time.
Yeah, Orrin. Not funny.
No. Not a funny guy.
If you need to know, Orrin Hatch, not funny.
Not a lot of senators or politicians with comedy backgrounds.
He actually, what was funny about him, he writes songs, or did. He's gone, Orrin.
Yeah.
But he wrote songs, and when I first got to the Senate, I'd visit other senators to get to know them, and he played me a couple of the songs he wrote, and they weren't bad. And he didn't write the music; he wrote the lyrics.
Pull it up.
So I told him, I said, I have a song that I need something in it. And it was a country western duet. We stayed together for the kids. It was what we thought we had to do.
Wow. Sounds like my
You
dad.
were cold as a sliced bread. Anyway, so because he had written this country thing, and then we ended up writing a verse together. It wasn't very good.
Yeah.
But still, it was bonding.
Right.
He was on the Judiciary Committee, which I was on, and that helped that much.
What's scarier, doing new jokes or being on that Senate floor? That seems terrifying. It's so serious. It's the opposite of comedy.
I'll tell you something. There was never a moment on the Senate floor where I was afraid that a joke wouldn't work.
Because the bar is low, right?
Right.
You know, there's usually no one listening. I mean, usually most people go to do a floor speech. They're either alone or there's hardly anyone there. So, no, it's working on a new piece, yeah.
That's scarier?
Well, doing it in front of an audience, yeah, that's a little scary.
Okay, that room.
Well, it's like politicians will get a laugh the way like a musician in between songs gets a huge pop.
Right.
You listen to certain like those old Sinatra albums, you're like, this guy's fucking killing.
I know,
But
it's nothing.
It's nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean funny? Like laughs?
He's getting laughs. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because the bar is low. He'll be in Vegas like, you guys lost a bunch of money, huh? And they're like, we did.
Well, that is funny.
I guess.
Then he'll say something racist about Sammy
I'll tell you
Davis.
why, because they gamble there. So I had to explain the
You didn't
joke.
understand it.
Sorry,
That's the problem.
Damn it.
Yeah.
This is your first episode with a wedding ring, by the way.
Oh, yeah, I just got
noticed it.
married.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, he's a lucky guy. But yeah, just this weekend. So we're back.
Great.
Good to be back.
I got one too.
Hey,
Whoa.
all right.
You've been married a long time.
A long time, 47 years.
Oh,
My God. That is long.
You stayed together for the kids.
That's right.
Get this
There
guy
you
a
go.
beer right now.
Call back already.
47
This
years.
quickly.
He deserves a drink.
A call back.
Look at you can see the horse manure in the photo, which I love on the right.
Yeah.
Good times.
Oh, my God.
Beautiful
Yeah.
bride.
So this is where?
This is in
Haiti.
Wuhan.
Oh.
No, okay. No, this is in, come on, it's New Orleans.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, good times. We had to do the traditional second line, which, is appropriation, but the white people love it.
It is appropriation. The night I got there, it was Wednesday night. I'm with our buddy Stavros, who, listeners know, bigger guy, hilarious comic, Ari Shafir. We're out. We get so drunk, we end up at a gas station eating fried oysters, fried soft shell crab,
Oh,
fried
my
chicken.
God.
As you do.
Wasted. We're in the lobby of the hotel just scarfing it down.
Yeah.
And I just turned to Stav and I'm like, man, imagine eating this shit sober. And Stav goes, I haven't had one drink. That's Stav right there.
There he is,
with
the
a
big
laugh.
guy
Yeah,
in the
big
purple.
guy.
He looks like a mob
Doesn't
boss.
need to get drunk for gas station. Fried seafood.
Well, soft shell crab, I mean,
At a gas station, it's dicey.
That's a gamble.
It was a
Speaking of
gamble.
Vegas.
in New Orleans.
Yeah,
Yeah, that helps.
that does help.
Ups the chances. But first of all, if you're getting a soft shell crab at a gas station, it's in New Orleans.
That's a good point.
I mean,
it's not in Cincinnati.
Rockaway County, not as good.
Right.
Yeah, right.
By the way,
What are you drinking, by the
In
way? What is
Minnesota,
it?
you get a soft shell crab at a gas station. Here.
yeah, that's a
your
gay
state.
move in Minnesota.
Okay,
They did the
this
old
is-
soft
I
shell
didn't-
crab.
What do we got here?
Coney Island.
Yeah.
Speaking, there you could get a soft shell.
Maybe.
It's on the
I had
water,
my first fried soft shell crab at Coney Island. I did. I was
Come
like,
on.
I am not shitting you. I was like 11 years old.
Yeah.
My I was lived in Minnesota. My uncle and my cousin lived in Cedarhurst, Long Island. The 5 towns, very Jewish.
Sure.
And they took me to Coney Island to a Nathan's.
Oh, yeah.
And I had a fried soft shell crab on a bun, and I went, Jesus Christ, this is good.
Oh,
the
it's so
best.
good.
That's why I didn't even hear gas station. I just heard soft shell crab in New Orleans. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
are you from New York?
I was born in New York, lived in New Jersey till I was 4, and then moved to a little town in southern Minnesota.
Thank you. Oh, okay. So you know about Minnesota.
I know about Minnesota.
Yeah.
The winners.
Yep.
But then you moved
Serbian.
back to New York for
You must have played Minnesota.
Many times. I love it.
Isn't that great?
I
Have you
love
done
it.
Acme Comedy Club in
Acme
Minnesota?
is best. I just did like 6 shows in a row there. I was trying to get like
You're working out.
do a lot of shows. Yeah, well, I
love
like
it.
doing a lot of shows. You guys know.
Of course, we're
How do you
animals.
get
We're
any
addicted.
good unless you do them all in a row, right?
Here, here.
Is this
There you
exactly?
go, huh?
Tell that to the TikTokers.
Cheers, by the way. Thank you for joining
Hey.
us.
There you go.
Wow, when's the last time you drank with a senator?
Mitch McConnell a couple weeks ago. We got lit up,
He's
dude.
fun.
He loves a Jaeger bomb.
Whoa.
That is sour.
That's
I like
really good. That's
Oh, you guys got it too. Yeah, I like it. I like a bitter, but this has lime in it.
Lime lager.
Okay.
A limer.
Yeah. So Minnesota, do you have a lot of love for that state?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I grew up. But yeah, I love Minnesota. When you're a senator, you go all around the state and you meet everybody and of all political persuasions. You also like meet people in disasters, like if there's a flood or a tornado, and you see people very often at their best.
Right.
Because and you see people step up for their neighbors. It's
Sure.
really moving, actually.
It's like 9/11. People came together.
I remember that. I was here that day, and I remember everyone line up to donate blood, and everyone's like, "Yeah, we're good on blood.
Wow.
We're good," because everyone did it.
Yeah.
It was just New Yorkers, you know.
That is nice.
Well, that was
Yeah.
more tragedy than we've ever actually had. And
Yeah.
I was in Minnesota that day, and my family was here in New York during SNL. All those years I was in New York. I wasn't at SNL then, but my family was, because that's where I raised my kids, and so I ended up driving back. I was visiting my mom, and then drove back because the planes weren't flying, so I just drove back all night and one day, and I got home. God damn, that was a shitty fucking.
That's one way to
That
put
was
it.
so fucking awful.
So then you moved back to New York, 1975, for a little program called
Saturday Night Live.
That was that the
Live
year
from
you
New
started
York.
writing on it?
Yes, I was one of the original SNL
I
writers.
didn't know you were original.
Oh, yeah. OG.
Me and Tom Davis. Tom and I went to high school together in Minneapolis, or a suburb of Minneapolis. And, we were two of the original writers. Lauren, we were the only writers Lauren hired whom he hadn't met. But we submitted some material.
What did you, did they see at a comedy show, I assume?
No, an agent, a William Morris agent, saw us at the Comedy Store.
Aha.
And
This is in L.A.
this is in L.A., and we had moved there after I graduated college. We moved out there. We were just 2 years. And this William Morris agent said, your material is really good. Would you like to write for a comedy variety show on TV? And we said, yeah, but there are none that we could write for. There was The Tonight Show,
Yep.
which was really good, but we couldn't. It was Mighty Carson, Art Players, and the monologue, and we weren't That wasn't us. There's Carol Burnett, which was a great show.
I love Carol Burnett.
But we were not right for. And then there was Sonny and Cher, which was kind of shitty.
Yeah.
And so he said, write a package for a show that you'd like to see. And so we wrote a news show parody. We wrote a sketch, which was a parody of Sonny and Cher. We wrote a commercial parody, and we wrote a conceptual film, and it was 14 pages long. So this is for anyone listening, watching. When you submit comedy material, don't write too much. You guys must have had to have some
packets,
nephew of some friend, or submit stuff to you that's 50 pages long, and after a page.
Yeah.
Right?
Of course.
So don't do that. Do something short and make sure.
Keep them wanting more.
But you kind of laid out the blueprint for the whole show. The commercial parody, the news, a sketch.
Did they ask for that, or was that just what you decided to do?
That's what we did.
Wow.
And then the World War III thing was not like a new update. It was just, it was a newscast the night of the day of World War III. So it was like tragedy, death, catastrophe. Highlight tonight's news after this message.
Do they still do commercial parodies? Because now every commercial I see, I'm like, that's Cecily Strong. There aren't like too many real commercials to do
good point.
Commercial parodies now. I
never thought about that.
They do both. Yeah, and but the ones that are real,
whoa, look how hot you were.
Cha-ching.
Look at those shoulders.
Yeah, I think that's
great jawline.
Had to do it again. But first, we'd like to introduce some very important people in the audience. You know,
I know what this one is.
That behind every successful man, you'll find a woman. And Tom and I are certainly no exception. So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you all to meet my lovely wife, Darlene. She's sitting up there. Davey, can we get a shot of her? There she is. She's over there. Ladies and gentlemen, my lovely wife, Darlene.
Hey.
Sitting next to her is our son, Al Jr. Al Jr. is 9 years old, and he's already in the second grade. And sitting next to Al Jr., ladies and gentlemen, Suzanne, the girl Tom lives with. I can't live this lie any longer. Ladies and gentlemen, Al just introduced his family and the girl I supposedly live with to present a facade. No, Al, with all the Anita Bryant stuff going on, with all the defeat of gay rights all across the United States, some people have to stand up and be counted. I think we should. No. The truth of I mean it. The truth of the matter is Al and I are homosexual lovers. Damn it, Tom. Damn it, Al. Listen.
Why are you shirtless?
Because we're out to do. The reason we're shirtless is the premise is we've gone out to do a sumo wrestler piece. We always would come out in some costume. Yeah, and it would never be what we were doing.
Right, the skinniest man on the planet is the sumo.
Yeah. So then it's. This is where gay lovers, or in the parlance of then, homosexual lovers, and then the boy stands up and goes, "I hate you, Daddy. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you, Daddy. I hate you." It was.
Oh, that's great.
This is 1976 or something like that, and
yeah, that would play today.
I think so.
But the dad would hate you for hiding it. He'd be like, "You should be proud of being gay."
The first bit we ever did on the show was the Bureau of called Powwow with the Press, and it was "What if the Indians had won?" And I was the host of Powwow with the Press, and Tom was the guy from the Bureau of White Man Affairs. and it was basically, the premise was, what if the Indians had won? And, we talked about the nicknames for the Major League Lacrosse teams.
Oh, that's killer.
The Screaming Rabbi on the Cleveland Kikes. That kind of thing.
I love it.
Yeah. It was, and that was...
I think that was part of Chappelle's monologue.
That was 1977, so that is how many years? Almost 45 years or 44 years before they changed the name of the Redskins.
Right. You called it.
Yeah, we called
Guardians
it.
and
Commanders?
And Commanders.
Yeah,
now.
and the Indians.
Commanders is a horrible name.
Both are not great.
They're not.
Guardians
At least has like some significance to Cleveland.
Yeah.
Does it?
Yeah, because they're the
Does it?
Guardians. Yeah, look it up. It's like they some sort of protectors of Cleveland. It has some sort of historical. I forgot what it was, but then
sounds like
Commanders is like, just be the generals.
Also,
yeah.
Also, there's usually one commander.
Right.
Oh, yeah, good point.
Because usually you have one person in command.
It's like the CEO.
This is from my government experience.
But yeah, you're right. You can't have more than one commander. It's like a leader.
You're on this original SNL cast, which is so many legends.
I wasn't on the cast.
No. But you're part of the cast. You're a writer. You were in the cast. What year did you join the cast? Late 80s?
Tom and I were never in the cast. I was never in the cast. We were always a featured player. That's the ones, and they don't say and featuring. And remember, they do the cast, and then so I was probably a featured player in more seasons than anybody, but
14 years, right?
I did 15 seasons on the show.
15 seasons. That's insane.
One of the advantages of me, because I was one of the people there originally, is, and so who pointed this out? Maybe it was Norm Macdonald, that I never had to go to the show having not been there. I mean, in other words, it's really nerve-wracking for people to come to Saturday Night Live
and start
and join it.
Right.
And I never had to do that, basically.
You were there day one.
Anyway,
Did you still feel the pressure, though?
Woody Allen once said comedy is either easy or it's impossible. And if it's easy, there was nothing more fun.
Right.
A Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, rolling on the floor, laughing and stuff. And it was horrible if you couldn't think of anything.
Yeah.
Did you know Woody at all?
I've met him a couple times, just very, very briefly, so I don't know. No.
How about, I have a question. Was Chevy Chase as big a dick as everyone says?
It depends how big a dick they say he was. Chevy, I think, will be the first to admit that he can be, at times, a little critical of people and mean or something like that. So, yeah, he had that, but, he was funny, boy. And he was first hired as a writer. He was not a cast member.
Didn't he only do... how long was he on the cast?
A year and a half. He became the star because of Update. And I remember when he left, he got married. He was going out to Hollywood and make movies, and he did. But, there were some people going like, no, don't let him go. He's the show. And then, of course... we had Belushi and Aykroyd and Garrett and Jane Lorraine and Gilda, and then Bill Murray came in. So.
Crazy.
Murray, and he had a fist fight.
I was there. I guess I didn't see it. I didn't see it at all.
But do you feel the tension though?
Not really, but maybe I was oblivious.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's a lot of stuff bubbling up about Bill Murray now being inappropriate or a dick. Did you see that, or is that just par for the course?
Billy could be a bully, a little bit of a bully boy, but he's a sweetheart when you're with him. But I think when he works, he can be difficult.
All right.
It is weird on Twitter now. They're just trying to cancel people for being dicks.
I know.
Where you're just kind of like, all right. Like, it started with, like...
Ellen.
First off, you got, I think, completely fucked.
Oh.
I really think you did. I mean...
I did.
Annoying.
You really got screwed over. Yeah.
And that was, of course, that was on a USO tour.
Yeah.
That was joking around. She had a bulletproof vest
Of course.
on.
Yeah.
If you look at the picture, it kind of proves that I wasn't doing that.
Yeah.
She had... Anyway.
Well, especially in the time of, like, Roy Moore, and then the Democrats just turn on you.
No, that's exactly what happened. It was timed perfectly.
Right.
Anyway, I should have had due process.
Yeah.
I should have, and my colleagues, I had 36 Democratic colleagues demand that I resign.
Democrats started this thing of eating their own, where they really...
I was the thing. I mean,
You were the thing.
Yeah. That sucks. You got to be the poster boy for that, but it's mostly timing.
Well, it was timing by the person. But let's move on.
Let's move on.
Sorry.
Sure. So, but when you see this stuff on Twitter with, like, Bill Murray and stuff, and people... I mean, are you on Twitter? Do you check it at all?
I don't check that.
Yeah.
But I know. I mean, I know Billy, and I feel awful that, and I don't know what it was, and I don't know if he was joking around. I think he, from what I understood, he bent her over to do like the kiss on, when we on VE Day.
Right. Oh yeah.
And so I don't know.
All right. Yeah.
So you were there when like Eddie Murphy first comes on?
I was not.
Oh, you weren't. You were gone that year.
Again, I did the first 5 years. Left when Lauren left. Came back when Lauren came back.
How many years was Lauren gone?
5 years.
Oh wow.
So I was a Lauren Again writer, and so it was
Lauren Again.
Yeah, I was gone. I left May '80, came back fall of '85, I guess.
What do you think, Albert Brooks? Smartest guy on the planet.
Brilliant.
Comedic mind.
Yeah,
him and Downey, I'd say.
Downey, yeah.
Downey's number one.
Yeah. Well, I don't know Albert. I wrote so much with Downey. Downey and I wrote a lot of the political stuff on the show. We had, this is Downey's motto, that we would reward people for knowing stuff, but not punish them for not knowing stuff.
Ooh, that's good.
That's a very...
lofty. It's a little lofty. But we did that.
Well, there's nothing worse than when someone is trying to show how smart they are in a condescending way, and you're just leaving people out. I mean, the job is to entertain, is to connect, right?
Yeah, and that's what we said. And what it meant was that people were kind of political junkies would get something out of it going like, oh. But people who weren't got everything we were doing.
Right.
And that thing that someone got was beside the point in the sketch. I was very proud of that material, and we did. Downey's, as I said, is as brilliant as they come. Now, Albert did films the first year.
Wow.
And I remember The Impossible Truth. And I remember one joke, which was Israel and Georgia trade places. And the Israeli prime minister goes, oh, no, the Georgia governor goes, I'll look forward to heat without humidity. That was what he said at the press conference.
Right.
If you can dig that up, it'll be worth doing. Oh my God. Okay.
Carvey National Park. How many times have you gotten nice laughs at a party? Have a friend turn to you and say, you know something? That was pretty funny. You should think about being a comedian. Your friend was right. The comedy and fraternity of show business is a fast-paced work. There are always openings for good comedy talent. But you say, I just don't know how it takes to be a professional actor. So I say, why not find out? Yes. A free comedy talent test that will tell us in just 5 short minutes whether or not you have a future in comedy. More about that later. First, come with me if you will, and let's have a brief look at the school. I think you'll like what you see. First today, we'll visit comedy take class. Here the students practice all kinds of takes. The double take, the elbow take, and today they're working on the spit take, made so famous by Danny Thomas on Make Room for Dan. Dan would be drinking coffee. His agent Sid would come in with some surprising news. Danny would spit the coffee all over Sid and the furniture. All right. Now that was pretty good, but I'd like to try it just one more time. Same way. Now remember, I just walked into the room. Now start to drink.
It's a great premise.
Guess what? I just heard from the bank, and not only don't you have any money, but your sister is dead.
That's great. Wow, great take.
So
great
silly.
Angle.
So do you miss that? Do you miss being in a writer's room and just being silly as hell?
There's nothing more fun.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing more fun than just, especially when it's your fucking job.
Yeah.
And you got a show to put on, and you or someone else comes up with something, you go like, oh, good. The show is going to be funny.
Who's the coolest host that came on?
Oh, shit.
I know the worst.
Who's the worst?
Steven Seagal.
Right. Terrible.
But it's on brand.
It is on brand. I don't know if he knows that. but it's certainly on brand.
Right.
Yeah, he was. He lapped everybody else. I mean, he was so bad. There were very few bad hosts.
A few more laps, he'll get back to that goal weight he was at a while ago.
Oh yeah,
the what?
His
goal weight.
He's gotten big.
He's large now. That was a fat joke.
Okay.
See, that wouldn't have hit in the writer's room.
Yeah. What about who's the best?
Shit. Well, Steve Martin, when he first
came on,
it was like, I remember it was like, do we want this guy to host? And then we saw like one of his Carson hits and went, yeah. And then he was monster. Just monster, but there are amazing number of really great hosts in different ways. But yeah, a lot of great hosts.
Yeah, Steve Martin. I mean, he would kill. He did the Wild and Crazy Guy.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, that was too wild. It was
him and Aykroyd.
And
yes,
him and Danny as two like Czech brothers who were picking up women. And yeah, I mean, I wrote some stuff for that, like Theodoric of York, a medieval barber. I wrote that. And fun.
See, the show was so wacky and silly then. Now I feel like it's gotten kind of, I don't want to say heavy-handed, but it's a little more, it's almost more serious in tackling bigger issues. But back then, like the comedy spit take and the medieval barber, you had the caveman lawyer.
Caveman lawyer, that's Jack Handy.
Oh, really?
Unfrozen Caveman Lawyer.
One of my Phil Hartman.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Were you close with Phil Hartman?
I wasn't real close to Phil. I was a friend of Phil's, but I mean, I wasn't. But yeah, what a fucking weird shit thing that was.
What a cunt of a wife.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, I mean, I think we should be allowed. She killed him. We should be allowed to call
her. She also committed suicide. I mean, it's
bad.
Tragic, and they had kids, and it was.
No, he was.
Shame on you.
Sorry, madam.
My God, you're gonna cut that out, right?
She's dead. Because, I feel like I'm justified there.
It's certainly a bad thing to do.
Yes,
but
kill a person.
Recall this is like mental health, probably a severe mental health issue.
Sure.
We could say that about school shooters too.
We do.
Yeah,
and they're cunts too. How about that?
Hard to argue.
All right, thank you.
We got him back.
We've landed on our feet.
Yes.
No, I remember seeing that in the news as a kid, and like I think that was like the first celebrity death that fucked me up when I was a kid.
Oh, really?
I was such a big fan of his.
I was actually out in L.A. Interviewing some writers or something, or for a sitcom I was doing with. And that was just the fucking weirdest day.
Yeah. Crazy.
No. Okay.
All right. We're back.
We're doing comedy.
So
we're talking about comedy.
So, I mean, it's such a weird pivot. Did you always know you were going to be in politics? I mean, I know you're a political news junkie. You did the radio show as well. That was The Bridge?
Yeah, The Bridge was, the real Bridge was Paul Wellstone's death, and Paul was senator from Minnesota, for all you comedy fans out there.
Right.
And he, in 2002, he was running for re-election, and he was in a deadlock. The polls were deadlocked, and he had to vote on the Iraq War. He was going to vote against the war. As a friend of his, he told me, and he told other people, this is going to end my career.
To vote against
the war, because people in Minnesota were for the war, large majority, and he voted against it. The next poll had him up by 7, because people in Minnesota actually respect the politician who votes what they believe in. If they don't agree with you. He died in a plane crash about a week later, about less than 2 weeks before the election. Norm Coleman won, the Republican. He got seated. 3 months after he was seated, he did an interview with Roll Call, Capitol Hill newspaper, and said, to be blunt, I'm a 99% improvement over Paul Wellstone.
Oh.
And I read that, and I went, who the fuck's going to run against this guy?
Wow.
And that's when I decided to explore it. I didn't know if I was going to be the guy, but then I went around, campaigning in the 06 cycle for a lot of Democrats running, and I felt like I could do this, and I clobbered him by 312 votes.
Woo! Ooh, nice.
Was your family supportive of this?
Yeah,
Is this something you
absolutely.
can-
I wouldn't have done it without. And my wife won it for me.
Yeah.
Basically, she did this ad. It was such a moving ad about she is in recovery now, and she did it about. And I'd written a couple movies about the Stuart Smalley.
Sure.
Of course,
was
Stuart
about
saved his family.
codependency. Yeah. And hey.
Good call.
I watched it.
And When a Man Loves a Woman, I'd written that too, with Meg Ryan and
Andy Garcia.
Yeah.
And so anyway, she did this ad that blew people away. And the next debate, when she came in, there was this big gymnasium, a high school gymnasium. When she walked in, she got a standing O.
Whoa.
In the entire gym.
Were you jealous as the performer?
Oh, no, I was so fucking happy because I'm going to win. He's winning this for me.
Yeah.
Well, you brought up Stuart Smalley, and I always think of the sketch you did with Michael Jordan as like an it's like an iconic SNL sketch.
Unreal.
If you could pull that up,
It was.
how would you describe Stuart Smalley? He's kind of like a self-help.
He had a self-help show, Daily Affirmations.
Yes.
He was a not a licensed therapist, but a member of several 12-step programs.
Again, this is ahead of its time, too.
Go high.
Huh?
This is ahead of its time, too, before everybody got super into
Michael J. I'll protect your anonymity.
this. Nah.
Michael is a basketball player for a professional basketball team. Well, that's very good, Michael. You should be very proud of that.
Well, thank you, Stuart. I am.
Well, good for you. Good for you. Michael,
That's great.
I know there must be a lot of pressure for you to play very well. And I can imagine that a night before a game, you must lie awake thinking, I'm not good enough. Everybody's better than me. I'm not going to score any points. I have no business playing this game.
Well, not really.
Michael.
Ooh.
Affirmation.
No.
Oh.
You can't ask them, just do it. You didn't get an answer.
Well, I do sometimes get a little nervous before.
Oh, yeah. Then you just skipped over the punchline.
Oh,
Okay.
you see.
See?
We don't know.
It's okay. It's okay.
Well,
it's okay. You
I
want to
do
go to the
sometimes
end?
get a
This is
little
the new
nervous before
generation.
important.
They
No,
can't.
I do Denial Ain't Just a River in
And
Egypt.
that's
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 damn
it's
it.
a huge
You're not
fucking
alone.
laugh.
Believe me, I know what it's like.
Oh,
Jesus.
man.
Laying there awake, all those tapes
Well,
You have a
rolling.
shot of him fucking that up?
Yeah, keep that in.
Tomorrow
Keep that
I'm
in.
going to be
Come on.
exposed for what I am, a big
We can go back.
imposter.
No,
I just want to curl up and lay in bed all day and eat fig newtons.
go to the end. You want to go to the end?
Yeah.
Yeah, why don't you go toward the end there?
Well, Michael,
Well,
that's it.
okay. There we go.
There we go.
That's
Hello,
what you're going
Michael.
for. I know.
Hello, Michael.
I don't have to be a great basketball player.
I don't have to be a great basketball player.
I don't have to dribble the ball fast or throw the
This is
ball
gold.
into the basket.
I don't have to dribble the ball fast or throw the ball in the basket.
Because all I have to do is be the best Michael I can be.
All I have to do is be the best Michael I can be.
Because I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me.
That's killer.
Because
It's
I'm
played in
good
millions
enough,
of homes. Everybody's laughing.
smart enough, and doggone it, people like me.
There we go.
There you
so
go.
satisfying.
Well, it was
Literally
interesting.
the best athlete the best basketball player ever. you know?
Totally.
Yeah, I mean, this was amazing. I mean, to have Michael Jordan there, and this is the first time they allowed pros to play in the Olympics,
Oh.
and
This is 92.
yeah, and he's like the most confident guy in the world. And I remember going in a dressing room, just going like, "Okay, so how you feel? Are you going to win? Going to get the gold in the Olympics?" He went, "Yeah, I mean, he just,
Ah.
I mean, and of course they just wiped
Of course.
And it was Magic, and it was like crazy.
Magic, Bird, MJ.
Yeah.
Wow.
And but no, he and then this is it's a live show, right? So when it peaks on air, you're really happy, and that peaked on air.
Yeah, and a lot of people think, oh, athletes are not funny. They're not funny. But who can take direction and be in the pocket more than an athlete?
My wife, Franny, had the first idea for an athlete as host, and it was Fran Tarkenton. Because I'm a big Vikings fan.
Oh,
quarterback
okay.
for the Vikes.
Got it.
Who had lost, by this point, he'd just lost the Super Bowl again, and for the Vikes. And Franny had this idea, and we did it. And I remember Belushi, who played linebacker in high school, made me go over to his house and read the entire Dick Butkus autobiography to me.
Jesus.
And so I could write an authentic locker room sketch or something. And and then, we've had amazing, we had Bill Russell, we had Peyton Manning when I wasn't there. I thought was the best
He's very funny
athlete host.
Yeah.
He gets how to be funny. I mean,
he really gets it.
And Michael, I mean, part of the funny, the fact that he is trying not to break is so funny.
Yes.
Like, literally, it was, how satisfying is that? You're like, Michael Jordan's trying to hold it together.
I think he broke in dress.
Yeah.
And I just said, don't break.
Hey, folks. We Might Be Drunk is brought to you by Bespokes. Posts. Box of Awesome is easy to remember because every time you open one, you just think, awesome. Bespoke Post partners with small businesses and emerging brands to bring you the most unique goods every month. From cozy essentials to cocktail kits, Box of Awesome has everything you need for winter. We love these guys. They're sending over a cast box. We got it right here. Whoa! Personal-sized aging barrel for your favorite cocktail. Holy, look at that, Beer Jew. Wow, we can make our own stuff. If only we had our own whiskey. Just take the quiz at boxofawesome.com, and they'll pick the right box of awesome for you. You only pay a fraction of what these boxes are worth, plus 90% of everything in your box is from a small, up-and-coming brand, like Bodega Cat.
And bubble wrap.
Ooh, can't go wrong. It's free to sign up, and you can skip a month or cancel any time. Get 20% off your first monthly box when you sign up at boxofawesome.com and enter the code DRUNK at checkout. Never fails. That's boxofawesome.com, code DRUNK for 20% off your first box. Boxofawesome.com, promo code DRUNK. Hey, folks, this episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. Look, Adidas dropped Kanye, so did Balenciaga. BetterHelp should pick up Kanye. He needs it. If life came with a user manual, things would be easy for everyone. But it isn't. So when it's not working for you, it's normal to feel stuck. Navigating a career change, a new relationship, or becoming a parent can make you feel uncertain. Therapists are trained to help you learn productive coping skills, which makes therapy the closest thing you'll get to a user manual for you. We all go to therapy. We all go to the same guy.
Love him.
It's a game changer. You got me in. I'm hooked.
He knows me too well.
I know. It's scary.
We were talking the other day about a toxic woman, and he goes, you're not done with her. I was like, yes, I am. He goes, I know how you are. You love it. I was like, fuck you, Alan.
Man, he's good.
I was like, yeah, he is good.
BetterHelp is online therapy that offers video, phone, and chat therapy sessions. You can choose to not see anyone on camera if that makes you feel better. Tell them how to do it, Fatty.
As the world's largest therapy service, BetterHelp has matched 3 million people with professionally licensed and vetted therapists, available 100% online, plus it's affordable. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to match with a therapist. If things aren't clicking, you can easily switch back to a new therapist anytime. It couldn't be simpler. No waiting rooms, no traffic, no endless searching for the right therapist. Learn more and save 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/drunk. That's betterhelp.com/drunk.
Diet smoke is the solution to avoid those, oh shit, I'm way too high moments. Diet smoke makes Delta 8, THC, Delta 9, THC, and CBD products that are perfectly balanced. They're gummies, drinks, vapes, all delicious. They're guaranteed to give you a beautiful buzz you've been looking for without melting you into the couch. Their extract is THC and CBD from American-grown hemp and shipped directly to your door. No prescription, no sketchy weed dealer, No need to leave the house even. Tell them how.
Diet Smoke just released a bunch of new products and flavors. No matter what type of mood you're in, they got you covered. If you're ready for that perfect high, head over to dietsmoke.com. Use code DRUNK for 20% off your entire purchase. Must be 21 or older to order.
See? He's in the pocket.
He's in the pocket.
What was he fun to deal with as a host?
Yeah. But it was also like, again, the most secure, confident person in the world you're dealing with, unlike some of the shitty hosts. And there are very few of them.
Who else is shitty?
Oh, shoot. The British actor.
Hugh Grant.
No, I don't. I'm sure he's great. I'm sure everyone.
He's a good actor.
There are very few
very
that are. Oh gosh, who was the guy?
British
Damaged. Jeremy Irons.
Jeremy Irons. He's a real cunt.
Odenkirk has a very good story.
I thought you were going to say Odenkirk's a terrible host.
No, Odenkirk is the best guy, but he was a writer on the show, and
he didn't get his shine on SNL. Bob Odenkirk.
Oh, yeah.
No, he was a writer.
Yeah, but he wrote the van down by the river Farley.
He wrote that?
Yeah. Farley, and he had done it at Second City.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, that's epic.
But he got his shine after on like the Ben Stiller show and Mr. Show. Did you guys know that you're like, this dude can act? No. You didn't know he could perform like that.
I knew he. Not really. I had. He had worked in a group with Smigel in Chicago at one point. I think he substituted. And Tom Davis and I did a movie in Chicago, and they had a group. An improv group that was that one of our cast members was in. So Odenkirk filled in for that guy, and I went to see them. And I was the one. I figured out that Smigel was the guy who wrote most of the stuff in that.
Yeah.
And Bob just substituted in. He hadn't written the stuff, and that's how Smigel got to SNL.
Oh, okay. He's an asset.
Eye.
Might as well.
My discerning eye.
Yes, good eye, because he's an asset. I mean, he killed it.
Unbelievable.
I just watched the Dana Carvey documentary on Hulu.
On Hulu,
it's hilarious.
About his show?
Realize what so they fell on the sword because they would not do the Bill Clinton breastfeeding.
Oh,
skit.
the nipples.
Yeah. They opened with that, and it just killed them. And they were following
Home Improvement.
It's the most like broad show.
Yeah.
Broad and at times very sappy.
Yeah.
Right.
Leading up to, and that had Colbert. It had
Carell, Louis C.K.
Yeah, Louis.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Smigel.
How does that show not?
I mean, Dana Carvey, was he one of the funniest dudes to be around?
He is the funniest.
Yeah.
I mean, he is.
He's a star.
Endlessly hilarious, and a lovely guy, and just. My God, I mean, and his voice work is amazing. His impressions are amazing.
Yeah.
The thing about Dana is I wrote a lot of the political stuff. Mm-hmm. He did George H.W. Bush, and we just used that as a crutch. We could open the show with a cool opening, and Downey and I used to write them. And sometimes Dana would kick in. Dana knows his politics, so we would write something where there was a logic to it. There was one. Okay, I'll give you one. It was drugs were in the news, so HW is going like from the White House, from his desk, and going, this vial of crack was found across the street at Lafayette Park. You got that one? Okay.
He's
at
skipping
Lafayette
the punchline right now.
Across the street from the White House. This hypodermic needle was found on the White House lawn. This bag of cocaine was found 3 feet from this desk here in the Oval Office. Okay, so Dana could get laughs doing just that.
Right.
You just get endless laughs doing that shit. So we would have to, before you run it, we would have to say to him, in dress. After he would get so many laughs in dress that you would lose the through line.
Oh, wow.
And we'd go up to him, Downey and I would go up to him and go like, okay, that's what's happening. And he did it almost every week.
Yeah.
So he knew exactly how much to dial it back. And he's just, an amazing performance.
He could have been a great dramatic actor too, if he ever wanted to do that.
I don't think he wants to do that.
Yeah,
I don't think he would want to.
But I remember my brother showing me the movie Opportunity Knocks when we were kids.
Oh, yeah.
Thinking it was like the funniest thing I'd ever seen. We had it on VHS. He must have watched it like 15 times.
Yeah.
And he's just doing the Bush character in one of the scenes. He was just pushing that accent wherever because he just knew it was going to hit. And it
Totally.
hit. It fucking hit. Play the clip.
My fault. Spending relief, sending it down there. Not too much, not too quickly. Wouldn't be prudent at this.
Wouldn't be prudent.
And the drug problem, bigger than ever. This is cocaine crack. I'll tell you something. This crack was bought right here in the White House. 3 feet from this desk. Drug problem, worse than we ever did. Marijuana being grown in the Rose Garden. Billy, the bush dog, bringing in crack pipe from the South Lawn. It's bad. Had to close down an ecstasy factory in the Lincoln Bed.
He has no.
Get the bag of cocaine. Okay, I'm not sure if the bag of cocaine is in there. I don't remember this exactly. Obviously,
it feels like it's coming up.
Tell our kids that it's bad. Second prong interdiction.
Maybe there's no bag. I think that was the crack I saw.
I see. Have you ever seen him bomb? Like, he has no inhibition. He's just going. Like, when you're killing on stage, you're still, all right, here's my next joke. Here comes a line. You're still in the moment working. He feels like he's having fun and still killing.
Well, that's part of his charm. He was having fun, and also, you like that character.
Yes.
H.W. loses, to Clinton in '92. Invites Dana to the White House.
Wow.
Not Trumpian.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
He wanted to be made fun of. He wanted to be...
He's a mensch.
He understood it. And of course, the way they made fun of Trump was not affectionate at all. But I went down, when Dana hosted, I went down to Houston and taped something with H.W. And he was, it was funny because he... is an ex-president, so I was instructed only one take. He'll only do one take. And the first take was 80% or something.
Sure.
And I'm going, okay, I'm going to have to. And he did 12 takes.
Oh, wow.
But if you're the assistant, the staffer for a former president of the United States, you say to a comedy fucking, one take.
Of course.
Yeah. And then he just was... He wanted to nail it, and he did. And he did the cold opening with, or the monologue with Dana.
You made a good point about the Trump thing, though, because the impression is really not done with love at all. When Alec Baldwin was doing it,
it wasn't necessarily an accurate impression compared to what some of the.
He wasn't very good, actually.
What's his name? He's so good. The guy who does
Shane
Trump
Gillis?
now. No.
Our boy Shane Gillis
3
is
names.
a great one.
Johnson.
Oh, is he on the cast?
Yeah, he's not on the cast.
Okay.
Come on, I should know
Sorry.
his name. He does an amazing Trump.
Oh,
James Austin
Johnson.
Yeah, James Austin Johnson.
He does a good
and what
one.
he discovered is just what he does, which is just free associate. That's
right.
Trump's strengths. I always thought
he can riff.
That Trump, part of the reason he won in 2016 was that he's a stand-up. In an odd way.
Sure.
I've never seen the man laugh.
That's true.
But he could go out there in front of a crowd and riff for an hour 15.
Oh, Jeb Bush melted.
And
this is a dude who stuck to a script,
Right.
Well, yeah. Everybody. He sucked up every bit of oxygen.
Yeah.
And so CNN would just cut to him doing. And he was. My theory is that. Build the wall and Mexico's going to pay for it was just that just became his hot pockets. I think he just kind of went. He said it once and they just went nuts and they just kept saying it was his hot pockets. That wasn't like some theory. I think they were going to say, do the Mexican border, do the border,
right.
the border, and he comes up with that, and then boom. we have to close down the government later.
Yeah. Well, let me see this guy. I've never seen this.
Bread, and more specifically, bun. I like bun. Bun is great, especially with respect to burger. And you know what? Now they want to go beyond burger. Can you believe that? I want to stay right at burger.
Oh, that's good.
It's not good. Joe Biden has gone beyond burger, and it has not gone so. And you know what? Neither has reboot of Fresh Prince. It's very different, and I'm laughing, and I'm laughing, and I'm laughing, but I don't know why.
I mean, you see,
he's good, but I do think Shane Gillis does the best one I've ever seen, and I do, but a lot of it's the writing, too.
Well, some people do some amazing ones, but that's he's discovered this random stuff that he does
right
better than anyone I've seen.
Well, I think what's good about Shane's is that he's not really picking a side. He's just being funny.
Well, I don't think that was much of a side there.
No, absolutely. I haven't seen enough of that guy, but this is Trump speed date, and I think this is gold.
Looks like someone painted her face like a clown. That's what we're gonna call her, Tana It the Clown. She looks like she should be in a sewer, bothering children.
Oh, the little
You
things.
are utterly disgusting.
I'm disgusted. I saw you walk in. I said, "Who's this? Is this a pig?" I didn't know you were letting pigs in.
You're a dictator.
He's kind of taking sides there.
A little bit.
A little bit. She was. Somebody needs to tell her that her pussy stinks. When you walk in,
Yeah, again, things you can't do on SNL.
You know what?
What's great
No one
about
here is
Shane?
gonna go on a date.
Yeah. What's great about Shane is that that Trump wins in this sketch in his mind, but he doesn't win.
Right.
That's kind of the beauty of it. Like he's like in his mind, he's winning.
Right.
It's like the ego trumps all, and that's kind of why I love this. But the writing is
That's
so
a very
funny
good
too.
Observation by both him and you.
Right.
Well, it's so. I mean, of course, you're right. You can get away with more on YouTube than you can on SNL.
Yeah.
But when you make fun of someone, and it's like when you roast someone. And you go like the Chevy Chase roast is a good example. It's a weird roast because you can tell they all fucking hated him.
It's awkward.
And then
it wasn't hating him. It was maybe there was some there, but mainly it was easy to make fun of at that point in his career.
But his friends hated him and they didn't show up. Is my point. And then
There's
you get
that.
guys who the guys
they just
roasting
didn't show up.
Well, they didn't show up. But if you love the guy, you're showing up to their roast, right?
I think it was Marty and Steve who had done Three Amigos with him just didn't show up. But it might have been.
But
maybe if they love Chevy, they would have been able to have
right.
It's my point. My point is it's the first roast where you're like, oh, these are just all casted roasters. These aren't his friends. It was like Mark Maron, young Greg Giraldo,
Jim Norton.
It was just all roasters who were like, they don't even know the guy.
I know.
Todd Barry did
killed it.
He killed
did a great
roast.
joke, which is making fun of Chevy Chase isn't as easy as shooting fish in a barrel. It's as easy as being in a room with a barrel.
That's a great joke.
Colbert at
Isn't
that
that
roast.
a great
That's
joke?
a great
Do you remember
joke.
Colbert said at that roast though?
No.
Dude, I wonder if there's footage of it anywhere. It's one of the best roast sets I've ever seen. It was.
Did you see the uncensored roast? Is that what you've? I mean, because there's.
It must be up there.
There's one aired, and there's one which is. I do have a copy of the whole roast.
That's.
But you're not.
Pull that up, man.
Nope.
Pull that up.
We usually have a bartender.
But there is
Thank you,
something
Matt.
about when you the Colbert at the Chevy Chase roast. Yeah. But there's something about when you don't like the person and you're making fun of them. That's the thing about politics. Is you have to. You ever try to write a joke when you just have a breakup and it's too raw.
It's too real.
It's too real, and you're like, oh, that's kind of a mean. It's either too mean about her or too self-deprecating about yourself. You haven't found that balance, and I think it works similarly with an impression or a roast. You need to take yourself emotionally a little bit out of it and just be funny.
Yes, yeah. You can if you can feel the tension and the venom, it's not as funny.
Oh, yeah.
Really? Is that a good rule? Sorry.
Usually involve a fair amount of good-natured ribbing. But when I was asked to do this, I was informed that this was actually going to be honoring Mr. Chase. And I am appalled at some of the things that I have heard said about this man. And I don't really mean out here, I mean backstage. Hurtful, hate-filled things you would never take back. And I will not be party to it. Online because who am I to attack Chevy Chase? I don't know Chevy Chase. I have never met Mr. Chase. I'm uncomfortable calling him Chevy. The only thing I think of when I look at this man is there, but for the grace of God.
Oh, he smirked. He won't give him the laugh.
Down like this to leave me pale and pear-shaped. Of my former self haunting the halls of Hollywood like some sort of walking, waking cautionary tale, shapeless and odorless,
Jesus.
and colorless, gray on beige.
Fuck.
Just sucking the joy out of everything I touch.
A lamprey?
Wow.
I think
That was
that would be
beautiful.
good. That would be good. And then bells are going. But it was beautifully written, and if Chevy were a little smarter at that moment or less under attack and emotionally secure, he would have laughed very hard.
There you go.
You can't have a
It's
roast.
hard.
I mean, it's funny that Trump had a roast on Comedy Central.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
another guy you don't think of as.
I wonder what role Jeff Ross had. Well, Jeff Ross has a big role.
The roast master.
The roast master. But I'm not sure. I don't think Jeff was part of that one.
It might have been before his time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. 20 years ago.
Jesus Christ.
Wow, so much has changed. He was in Home Alone, for Christ's sake. Trump.
Home Alone 2.
Oh, sorry.
Second one.
And WrestleMania.
Probably won't be in Home Alone 12.
They've made a bunch more.
Yeah.
Have you watched Home Alone recently? I think I was a kid. It's not a good movie.
Oh, it is a good
The first
movie.
first one's solid. The second one is terrible.
Well, I'm talking about the first one.
Second
First one's good.
Doesn't
First one's
even
fine.
worth
You
it.
can't.
Yeah.
Come on. The
Jeez.
first one's really, really
Are you a big
beautiful.
movie guy?
Not as big as a lot of people who are in show business. I mean, but I think that's a solid movie.
Can you give us a movie rec? We like recs on this podcast.
Election.
Oh, it's one of my all-time
great movie.
favorites.
Thomas Paine.
Yeah.
Alexander Payne. Damn
Alexander
it. Home Alone
Payne.
2. Shit.
Yeah. No.
Election's
isn't that-
phenomenal.
I think it's Payne.
Yeah, no, that's right.
Yeah.
I think there's a team. There's one's a director, one's a writer, or something like that. Look it up.
One of my favorite comedies of all time. It's brilliant.
Brilliant. It's a good dark comedy.
My son at the time was 9 years old, and he saw it, and my son's reaction was, I remember that was 2000. I remember this because I took my son and his friend out to L.A. for the Democratic convention that Gore was nominated. So that's how I remember it. And we went to some party where I think the guys who wrote it, maybe it was Bang, I don't know, were there. And he just went up to them and said, the cars that you picked out were perfect. And the production design, my son who's 9 years old, because he's a car nut.
Oh, really?
Just loved the car that the teacher Matthew Broderick, and he just my son loved everything about the production design of that. As 9 years old, and he's not.
Interesting.
He doesn't care about production design normally at all. He cares about cars, though.
Huh.
But,
No, he's a great filmmaker. I guess it stands out extra in a comedy because usually you don't always notice. Like
True.
comedy director, sometimes directors try to do too much in a comedy. And you're like, well, that's not good, but it worked.
Oh my god,
perfectly.
But anyway, so you asked for a recommendation.
Good
Maybe
movie.
Just keep it at one.
That's a great one.
Good
Dr.
choice.
Strangelove, of course.
Of course.
Great
That's a
one.
Classic.
Classic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got so many questions. I don't want to bug you, Al.
No,
First of all, I know you.
That's why.
Okay,
I'm here.
I know you did Blow with Belushi. We got to get into that.
Yes.
But
How was that?
He would have too much.
you don't say.
It was funny when I hated Bob Woodward's book on him, Wired, because it was all about his drug use. And Tom Davis said it was like as if someone named your college yearbook Puked. And all he did was puke. No one learned math or fell in love.
One-sided.
Yeah. You know. And I remember Woodward interviewed me and he asked me about cocaine, and I said the only time I ever did cocaine was with Bernstein, because I just didn't like the whole tone of this guy doing his book.
Sure.
And I thought the book was a travesty.
Yeah,
and it was like Lauren said, it was written by a guy who didn't understand anything about popular culture and Belushi's place in it. And he said, this Lawrence said, it was like he had written a sentence that said, "The Beatles, a popular musical group in the 60s," you know, and yeah, it was, I was very offended by that book. Because he's just a brilliant performer.
Sure.
Oh, none of that is captured. It was just all, they were from the same town in Chicago. I can't remember the name of the town, but it was almost like him saying, "I'm the best guy from this town." I had that feel of it. It's a mean thing to say.
He's a cunt of an author.
Well, it's like, what?
There you go.
The third one I got in.
Yeah.
He didn't stop you on that one.
Aha!
He's back in.
Yeah.
No, but
I wouldn't call him that. He's done some great work.
It's a callback, Al. Come on.
I didn't like
the book was cunty.
There we go.
There we go. All right, cunty book.
That's a good adjective.
No, it was a special time, that cast, and you think about. I do think about. You know, sometimes as comics, like this podcast started because Mark and I used to get drunk all the time together. You know, we were young road comics, and then slowly
used to.
Well, we built a show around it. But
true.
When we were young comics, you know, you can get hammered every night, and then you start going on the road, and we'd see each other. I don't know, maybe 2 days a week, maybe 1 day a week, and we'd try to make that one night count. We'd say, "Hey, let's hang," and then before we know it, it's 5 a.m. and we keep saying, one more drink, 6, 7 a.m. Turned it into a podcast. Oh, look at us.
Jeez,
look at your wedding, buddy.
I am
look at
so
us.
banged up there.
I'm hurting too.
I look like I'm in blackface.
Mickey Mantle regretted drinking as much as he did.
He did.
Yeah.
Oh, is that right? Well, everybody says that after. During. That was a
but
blast.
it was interesting. He said, you know, Pete Rose took care of himself. I mean, all these guys that had these careers.
Sure. 536 home runs with a drinking problem, though, is pretty damn cool.
Well,
That's a functioning alcoholic.
You know, if you don't do this, but because it's not that great, but some of the interviews he did on Letterman toward the end of his career about just getting so fucking wasted and being at somebody's farm and wasted, and then
should have never fucked that cow.
Driven to the ballpark and just falling asleep in the dugout and being, you know, like, you got to get up, and then hitting a home run over the center field in Yankee Stadium.
Wow.
See, to me, that's a tale of an incredible functioning alcoholic.
Yes,
right
that's a win.
Yes and no. I mean, but his career was shorter than it needed to be.
No, I mean, for sure. We don't need to talk about real drinking on this, but this is becoming a buzzkill right here.
Oh, yeah. I mean, by the way, don't let the show suggest to you that it's okay if you have a drinking problem.
You put the Al and Al-Anon.
Cut to Mark and I in 20 years in this podcast. I made every mistake a man could make.
That's my one regret, was drinking too much.
I think probably you should save that little clip of me to your audience. The most important thing ever said.
You got it.
Don't drink.
On your pod.
I really hope Al gets wasted here now.
Oh,
that'd be awesome.
Nice.
I get a little tipsy very easily.
Really?
Oh, okay.
Let's do shots. Bodega Cat shots.
I don't like hard. I just.
Really? You're a beer guy.
I drink beers occasionally. I'll drink a glass of wine occasionally, but I don't drink. I don't get
You
drunk.
seem healthy. You look good.
Yeah, you look good. Full head of hair.
Yes, all due to not drinking. I'm pretty good. I had back surgery 5 weeks ago.
Hey, so did he.
Did you?
No, I had like an ablation. I had in my neck.
I had a real.
Yeah,
but I'm good. It was a great.
I mean, carrying SNL for 10 years. Never mind. All right, sorry.
This episode's had more. This episode's had more huns than we've ever had. You were in Trading Places. I remember you. A little cameo. Remember that?
Is that right?
Yeah, I do remember
cool.
that. Yeah.
Wow, that was very Chris Farley of me.
Yeah, remember that?
That was pretty cool. I mean, that was a pretty great scene, though. You're in the end of the movie, the gorilla. That was pretty fun.
There's the gorilla scene, and then
Look
there's
at
the scene where we come in there with
That's
Eddie
great.
and Danny, and it was Eddie and Danny in that.
Yeah.
Which was that character actor who was so great, and
Denholm Elliott.
No, Denholm Elliott was a different.
He was the butler.
Character. Yeah, he was a butler.
Damn, he was funny.
Yeah.
What about? Were they cool to work with? Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy.
Oh yeah, but we barely. I mean, we just had a couple scenes, and one was with them, and so mainly we were just in a trailer waiting for our scene.
Of course.
And I was Stone Baggage Handler 1 and Tom was Stone Baggage Handler 2. We smoke a joint in it, and later they figured out that Eddie should smoke a joint, so they took that scene out, so we were just stupid Baggage Handler 1 and stupid Baggage Handler 2.
Right.
We were playing very stoned, and
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well...
I mean,
83,
I get
wow.
people come to me, say to me, usually around Christmas or something, and say how much they love.
It's such a Christmas movie.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's such what are your all-time Christmas movies? For me, when that's in there, I love Bad Santa. That movie.
Oh, I do too. That's great.
It's like a warm blanket. That movie. It's so. Have you seen that one?
No, I got to see it.
Billy
That's
Bob.
a recommendation.
Great movie. Yeah, I mean, there's all the classics.
You got
obviously.
Vacation, obviously.
Vacation.
So good.
What?
Technically, Lethal Weapon is a Christmas movie.
No, Die Hard.
Die Hard.
And Lethal Weapon.
Really?
What? Oh, I don't remember
That
that.
director or that writer's hallmark is setting movies in Christmas.
Shane Black.
No.
You know what's a really good
Donner.
Christmas movie? It's a
Blitzen.
Wonderful Life.
That's a great movie. It is a great
What
movie.
a hack.
Thank
Come
you.
on, Al.
No, but that is a great movie.
It is. So
It's a great movie.
Fact about that movie: apparently Jimmy Stewart was furious that it bombed. And he blamed the lead actress
Oh.
because she was
Donna
his big-
Reed?
Yeah,
that it bombed?
yeah, because it didn't do well in theaters.
That's
oh
right.
my Lord!
Yeah.
Well,
She was a
he
cunt
must
of a
have-
lead.
He lived long enough to see that it was
Yeah,
a fucking classic.
Yeah, you got that right.
yeah. No, it's a great movie.
It plays at the IFC every year, and I went with my girlfriend, wife, and we took edibles. And we were laughing so much in the first 8 minutes of the movie that a guy turned around and goes, "Shut the fuck up! I used to watch it with my dad. He's dead now." We're like, "Ah!" We ran out. Good times.
I went there with my ex, and we did heroin, and it's great. It's a great movie.
You were quiet the whole time.
Yeah.
My wife and I did no.
All right, now I never got to my second question because I wanted we got into the cocaine with Belushi.
Mm-hmm.
Political guy, obviously. You've seen it all. You've been through it. Have you ever seen it as bad as it is today with politics and the tribal and the fighting and the whole thing?
It has gotten worse and worse. And Trump was
The
kind
impetus.
of a kind of a tipping point.
Sure.
Because this is a very sick guy.
Right.
And with all the disinformation out there are a lot of people who bought into him. Some probably watching this podcast. That guy?
No, I'm just kidding.
I was going to say. We're taping this not long after, just a few days after the midterms, and my wife said the night after, she said it was the American people saying "stop it." And it really was saying stop it to this denial about the election, and our democracy.
But some of those people won. Some of those people that are deniers
some won,
did
but
win.
none who are in a position to, like the secretaries of state candidates for
And there were upsets for sure, but
but like the Secretary of State in most states runs the elections in the state, and there were a number of rabid deniers who ran for Secretary of State, like Michigan, and in the guy ran for governor in Pennsylvania, bussed people to the Capitol on January 6th. He lost handily, and the governor appoints the Secretary of State in Pennsylvania, so that was at stake, and so deniers got. What was funniest to me was that these deniers, who their whole political identity was that the 20 election was stolen, a number of them conceded, which was like, I know I've just staked my entire political identity on saying that the 20 election was stolen, and despite there being no evidence and 62 cases decided against.
Wow.
And despite this, that's what I ran on. And
good for them.
I lost last night. I concede. And I'm going like, I
don't think it works like that.
Wow.
But not all. Not all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what do you think about like a state like Pennsylvania where, pretty close race, but Fetterman wins. And do you think, how much of that do you think is like Dr. Oz being an out of town, like New Jersey guy? How much of it do you think is like
there were a lot? He had a lot of baggage in that respect. Sure. He also, he didn't come off very well. He came off as a little like too slick.
I don't think either of them did. Yeah. Honestly.
Well, Fetterman, this was unprecedented. That debate was unprecedented because you're watching a guy who has not recovered yet
from a stroke,
and it took a lot of courage to do it. But in a way, he couldn't not do it.
Yeah.
So you're watching something completely just how you process that. Oz made this mistake by saying abortion should be between a woman, her doctor, and her local politician. And remember, he said that, and that just gave them an ad.
Right.
Yeah. And of course, they were able to cut together ads for Fetterman too, from where he was very coherent, and
he opened by saying good night, which was fun.
Yeah, I mean. And in a way, that's kind of when he won and gave his victory speech. It was kind of moving, for a guy to and so no, that's nothing like that has ever happened before.
Yeah, but can we come back to normal at all, or is this just how it's going to be now? These two camps who just hate each other and don't listen and no discussion.
I think it's going to be very interesting to watch the Republican Party now, because there's going to be a lot of recriminations, and I think it'll be a shit show because so many of them. And again, this is sounding pretty partisan and political, but you could divide the office holders and the apparatchiks of the Republican Party into chicken shits. Who wouldn't say Biden won the election because they didn't want to get on the wrong side of Trump. And then the kind of the crazies. And they're going to be fighting, and they barely, it hasn't been quite determined yet, but it looks like they're going to have a very narrow margin in the House. So there's going to be a lot of fighting. And what's funny now is, as we speak, I'm not sure when you're airing this, but Herschel Walker is the remaining candidate.
Wow. This might be coming out after the runoff.
Yeah, I'm sure it will. So probably. But, and 30 years from now, people may say, Herschel Walker was one of the great U.S. senators we ever had.
Yeah,
okay.
Probably not.
So, he's a great father.
But you know what? Not everyone who pays for an abortion sends you a card.
Oh. Hey,
that's
true.
I like that. That's worth more than a Herschel Walker football, I think.
I think you're right.
Card, I would say.
Yeah, put that at the card
I hope
store.
You're using that, aren't you?
No. Really?
Yeah.
I did play Georgia.
That's my advice to you.
I played Georgia over the weekend. And after every abortion joke, I would say, it's okay, Herschel Walker wrote that one too. That really saved me.
That's
How many
great.
abortion jokes do you do?
I ran it off 3 or 4. I ran it off 3 or 4.
And I'm keeping them. Joke.
Ironically, he won't get rid of them.
But I don't. Right now, because the majority of the Senate isn't up, I have a prediction that Warnock will win that one, because I think there are a lot of Republicans. It's very close in the polls. It was close in the election, but I think there are a lot of Republicans who voted for him, and now that the majority in the Senate isn't at stake, are they going like, do I really want to, it used to be that putting a gun to your wife's head was disqualifier.
Yeah.
I
just do it. I just do it to get an erection.
Oh. But, no. Thank you very much. Try the veal.
But, no, you're right. And it's interesting. There's something about running the celebrities. Like we talk about name recognition, and it's like, Dr. Oz, Herschel Walker.
Yeah.
That's
Trump. Trump likes celebrities. Carrie Lake.
But sure. But she lost. I mean, there's something about.
Very attractive.
Yeah, you're into that?
Oh yeah, she's hot.
She put out when it was announced that she had lost. She put out, Arizonans no BS, and it just. Yeah, that's why you lost.
Oh.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, there's something to be said about that. You know, you look at the Gore Bush election. Like, I look at that as a time where Gore was like, "It's yours." He basically gave it. He didn't want
the Supreme Court. What do you do?
What?
It was the Supreme Court.
I know, but it was he very gracefully handed it over, right? I mean, that wouldn't happen now. That would never happen.
He respected the legitimacy of the court, something that's harder to do now after they didn't take up Merrick Garland and after they sat Coney Barrett 9 days before an election. But at that time, there was a lot of respect for the legitimacy of the court, and that's what Gore was recognizing, that's it. It's the Supreme Court.
Do you think this would be happening at this level if Democrats weren't constantly, you know, after the Trump election, you know, someone like Rachel Maddow, the Steele dossier, like the meddling? Do you think it would be going to this level if it weren't for that?
Oh yeah, I mean, because, I think that the Steele dossier is something obviously used, and I guess in some respect, rightfully used as a little bit of a weapon. But no, this is about having this guy who, just a pathological liar, a guy who says, I can shoot someone on Fifth Avenue and not lose a vote. And you go, okay, but you'd be prosecuted.
Right.
Right.
That's true.
I mean, but...
do you think you have enough pull to get Hunter Biden on this podcast? We'd like to drink with him.
There'll be a lot of funny stuff after the investigation.
We got a full bar.
Yeah.
We got a full bar.
It'll be like that Bush sketch. We got a bag of crack, a bag of coke.
Oh, yeah. They're going to do it. If they have the majority, they're going to do it.
But what? How do we get back? I mean, you are a politician that looked to unite and not divide people. How do we get back to that mentality? How do we get back to, Mark and I, we're road comics. We take pride in letting everyone in on the joke. That is kind of what we try to do as entertainers, and I think really good politicians have a similar ability, right? I mean, how do we get back to it, or are we doomed with Twitter and all this, tribalistic
division?
What makes me pessimistic is just the divide in terms of information and the disinformation that people buy into. And if you're in that universe of information, that division is going to division is going to be there. But
don't you think the internet is coming in with a little bit of middle ground? Because obviously the Fox
I don't want to get into public policy here, but Section 230 is something I would change, and that's the thing that says that these, like Facebook, is a platform and can't be responsible for stuff it puts out. But Facebook has their algorithm knows you better than you know yourself.
They say it knows you're gay before you do.
Yeah, and basically...
That's how I found out.
It basically feeds you, gives you back what will keep you on Facebook.
Oh, they'll recommend me like a sweater. I'm like, I should get that. And I'm like, wait a second.
Yeah, they got you.
It's crazy, right?
They do it with hookers.
They're probably right.
Yeah.
You should probably get that sweater.
I'm going to get it. Let me get back on real quick.
They know you better than you know you. But what I'm saying is they also like to keep people on and get them agitated so they stay on.
Right.
They know everybody so well. They go, this guy, we feed him this disinformation. He'll get really excited about it and stay on longer. And we sell advertising. That's
it's
what
bad
we do.
news.
And so they know what they're doing. They know exactly what they're giving you.
Yeah.
The way you're talking, I'm like, you are a voice that could really do good. And part of me thinks, like, man, it's a bummer that you're not. Is there any hope that you would get back in?
I keep my options open, but it is pretty toxic.
You sound like my ex right now. This is when he says, huh? You should. I mean, you should.
I don't
think
know
about
your
it.
ex, but I'm sure that's accurate.
Yeah.
But you don't want to go dip your toe back in the...
I don't know. It depends. I mean, I'm still a Minnesotan at heart, and I go back and forth, but I have grandchildren here, so I'm here a lot. And I have grandchildren in L.A., so I'm a little, I'm a little bit being grandpa, and I'm doing my own podcast, and
it's probably a happier life.
And And I'm on the road. Jesus Christ, that's why I'm here. I'm doing the Alfred.
Not just to hang out with us and get drunk with us?
Yeah. But that too. But yeah, I'm on tour. I'm on.
Here we go. Well, what do we got here?
The only former U.S. senator currently on tour.
Here.
There we are. I'm going to Portland.
Woo!
And then Sacramento. I'm doing a little West Coast swing.
I just did that Revolution Hall. It's great.
Isn't that great?
It's great.
I've done
it's an
it
old
before.
schoolhouse.
It's great. I love Portland audiences.
Don't make a school
Monterey,
shooting joke. They didn't care
then
for
I'm
it.
doing San Luis Obispo, and then Los Angeles, California.
The
I was working. One of the things you guys sent like subjects to think about is like bits you're working on.
Yeah.
Please.
No, I was just thinking in Portland, of course, they have this huge homeless problem.
Yeah. You got that right.
And so last time I was there, or maybe it was 2 times ago or something, that a lot of the homeless people were wearing Nike. Is Nike there, or is it
Nike and Adidas? They have,
they're wearing Nike stuff. And what happened was that Nike had decided to give the homeless people Nike clothes. And now they were stopping to do it because a lot of people think that they were all just former Nike employees.
Oh, wow.
That the homeless...
This guy blew all his money on Jordans. I'm not giving him money.
I'm just kind of working on that for Revolution Hall.
It's like an Albert Brooks video.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, it was okay, bad idea to give all the homeless.
Now, do they give the kids at the sweatshops free Nikes?
They don't.
They're not. They probably
don't.
Give Adidas.
So if those kids stopped working, ironically, they'd get free shit. Because they'd be homeless.
You see a homeless guy in Asics, you're like, all right, this guy, I'll give him some money. But Nike,
he's a real hobo.
Yeah.
Huh?
There we go. It's a callback.
It's a runner.
We got to call this episode
a runner.
Yeah, it's a cunt of a callback.
So anyway, I've been on doing this tour, and you asked me about when I got here. Am I still working out at the Cellar?
Yeah.
And I haven't been lately. I've been working out on a club that's 2 blocks from my house on the West Side Comedy Club.
But
we're neighbors, man. We were neighbors. Yeah.
But I love the Cellar, and that's what happened when I left Santa. I started giving speeches, and I realized like this is like 80% funny, and also I love stand up, and I had never really done it by myself. I'd done it with Tom all these years,
right?
And so I started working out at the Cellar, and killed right away.
Hey,
and very comfortable doing it, and just love doing it, as you guys said. It's a gas. I mean, it's amazing.
You're tough to. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
You're tough to follow because you have smart, intellectual, thoughtful stuff, and then I'm like, hey, pedophiles, huh? And so they're like, well, that guy was
follow me.
All right.
That's what you say to pedophiles too.
What I can do at the Cellar, what's funny at the Cellar is everyone, 3/4 of the time I can open with, Cecile just killed, but no wonder she stole all my material. And it always gets a big laugh because it's so fucking dirty.
Right, yeah.
Or, someone uses the N-word constantly.
Yes. Sorry about that. All right, no harm.
Usually it's a black comedian.
Usually.
Always.
I used to write for Michael Richards.
There we go.
I like that.
All right.
Very good.
Good to have you back.
Yeah.
So, and you bring Dina Hashem on the road sometimes. You brought her on a few gigs, right?
I brought her for a couple of things.
Very funny, right?
We love Dina.
Dina is great, and I brought her out. I did in Eastern Long Island, where it was Riverhead.
Yep.
And then also Minneapolis, and she's hilarious.
Yeah, great joke writer.
Yeah.
When is this episode coming out, Matt? So Dina Hashem is actually recording an album or a special in Chicago this weekend. Check that out. Highly recommend going. It might be sold out by now, but 2 shows at the Lincoln Lodge. Dina Hashem,
good
hilarious comic. I'm producing it.
Oh,
James Webb is directing it. He directed my Netflix special.
Should we just
Check
do
it
all
out.
her jokes now?
Let's burn them all, dude.
Yeah.
She's a great joke.
Do you have any peeves?
Yeah. Any pet peeves? Any things that bother you lately?
Oh, yeah. Okay, two things. One, people who walk down the street on their phone, and I can't believe you probably haven't heard this one before. This is people who walk on the phone and don't look where they're going.
Sure.
And I'm thinking of working on a piece where it's two Gen Z people, both on their phones walking down the street, and it's very physical piece. It's just boom, and they bump into each other, and their phone goes into the gutter and goes down the thing, and it's just the Gen Z person going, my phone. Because I just feel like when people are walking down the street and not looking, I want to go like,
I know.
you know, and I don't, because I wouldn't.
All right.
We've all done it.
Yeah.
I get mad. I've done it.
We've all done the phone thing.
I've done the phone thing. One time I did it, and I was looking at my phone, and someone else was looking at the phone, and we collided, and we were both mad at the other person.
Right.
Well, that's my bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
That's not a great bit, but
Now
anyway,
you see why I don't want to follow him.
And then so that's that. But the other one is, and I bet you this is also your pet peeve, and you didn't realize it is. It's these fuckers on these electric bikes.
Oh yeah.
Who are going the wrong way
Uh-huh.
in the bike lane.
Yeah.
And going 40 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they decide, as I get a green, and the bike lane is this way, which I'm looking for because I don't want to, because I'm onto this. Some guy's coming from this way.
Yep.
And he knows he's going to make it. He knows he's not going to hit me, but it's like that close.
Sure.
But he knows it. And I go like,
Yeah.
like that. And he's just going like, I knew I had it.
The arrogance.
And you
want to throw him the back of your elbow for a second, don't you?
Well, it's too fast. It's just too fast. They're going way too fast too.
Yeah.
And they're in a bike lane on not a bike.
An e-bike.
It's a
Those
bike
e-bikes-
lane is for a pedal bike.
The
Yeah.
pandemic really made that catch on in New York.
Oh,
'cause
yeah.
People weren't taking
Attell's
the trains
joke
as
is
much.
the best joke.
Which
What's
is
his
it?
joke?
That could be for any Attell joke,
That's
by the way.
Yeah, that's true. It's that the guys that deliver food, and those are the guys on this bike, they're the third responders.
That's great. Now, what,
Attell gets quoted on this podcast once a week.
easily. Yeah, totally.
He's our favorite.
Him and Hitler. But could you combine those two and go with the phone guy, the bike guy, and then the bike guy on his phone? Because I've seen that a lot too.
Jesus, I wish I had seen that, so that could be my pet peeve.
Oh, okay. I'm just saying for the bit.
Who
If
are
you're
your
working on the bit.
favorite- who are your favorites to watch when you're down at the club now? Do you watch comedy down there or no?
Well, I haven't been there in a while, but Dina, I discovered
Dina's great.
there. And you know what? Bad on me because I can't remember some names of great comics.
Yeah, it's tough.
And it's been a while. It's been a while.
Yeah, plus the age.
You're a young whippersnapper, though. If you're a politician, though, now I mean, you look what's out there.
There's some really young bad ones. Really young. There's some young bad ones. Young good ones.
But you seem younger than you are. I mean, what are you? 71?
Yeah.
Hey, you seem
Wow, 71.
Yeah.
You look
like
great.
what? 67.
Yeah, something like that. Good for you.
I'm a comedian.
I know,
does that
but
mean?
we're
No,
ugly.
No, that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah,
We age
yeah.
well.
Oh
I
boy,
don't-
that's actually kind of means
We just rattled off like
that
10 that died in their
you could
30s.
use that to establish the exact opposite.
Right, yeah. Greg Giraldo looked great, too.
You did, yeah. We have a wall of death behind you. Some of our favorites that passed away.
You're next, baby.
Oh, fuck.
No, he's a long way away from me.
No, you look great. I wish you were my dad.
I met your
you.
dad at the wedding. He's a great guy.
Ah.
Your dad will. Does he watch?
No.
He is a peeping Tom, though.
Yes.
He does watch.
All right. I see.
There you go.
All right.
Huh?
Hey! Al Franken, everybody. Come on.
Plug any other things you want to plug?
You got your podcast.
Got my podcast, the Al Franken podcast. We very often have. There I am. Look at that.
Hello. I'd vote for that guy.
Yeah. There's Norm Ornstein.
Oh.
That's a very typical.
That's a good get.
Norm is one of the great political scholars in the country. So that's
Good,
so I do a
David
lot of public
Axelrod, too.
policy,
Look
a
at
lot
that.
of politics. But go to the next one. It's David Axelrod.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and Cecile Richards.
I listen to his podcast sometimes. Hacks on Tap. That's a good one.
Oh, really?
Too many ads though. There's an ad every 3 minutes on that podcast.
Well, on every podcast you get, like on my YouTube stuff, there people just complain about, and there's nothing I can do.
But they
about it if
they
I'm
really
on to it.
stretch him out on that. one.
Really?
Mike Murphy and those guys, they'll talk about a mattress for 15 minutes, and I'm like, well, just get back to the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Lot of
that's like
Kraft
what the
Automatic.
30-second thing is made for.
Exactly.
So
The
we
old
got
fast forward.
This comes out the 4th. So yeah, I'll be in Tacoma, Spokane, on New Year's, Oklahoma City, and then the theater tour we start up. We got New Orleans, Austin, Tulsa, Dallas, St. Louis, Vegas. Go to samuel.com for more. Yeah, added in Vancouver. We added in Portland, Seattle. All the dates are up there. We're adding dates, so please check it out. samuel.com/shows. I'm coming everywhere except we haven't had Cali on this or Denver, but we'll be there soon.
Oh, yeah. I'm at the Wilbur coming up.
the
Fillmore.
Wilbur is great.
Great room.
theater.
One of the great rooms in America.
Very steep balcony.
Yes.
Love Boston.
It feels like a club somehow.
Yeah.
Buffalo Cobs, Zanies, all kinds of stuff.
Zanies. Do you ever play the Mike and Stool?
No.
No.
Oh.
It's a name for a comedy club.
Oh. I thought there was two guys you know.
Hey, you guys said, huh?
Hey, all right. We're back. All right, we've come full circle. Yeah, marknewmancomedy.com.
Make sure. Oh, Mark, do you have more to plug here?
No,
Yeah, no, plug them.
I'm actually in I'm in Hawaii at the Blue Note in Honolulu.
Whoa.
Hit that more. Oh, sorry. I guess I got to get more dates.
BodegaCatWhiskey.com. Make sure to order our whiskey. It's great. People are snatching it up. We are legal in Texas at Specs. You can get us over 200 liquor stores carrying Bodega Cat in Texas.
Holy
now, Specs.
shit. Get on it, folks.
Bodega Cat Rye. You guys are snatching it up. We appreciate you guys. So thank you.
Yeah, keep
You've
drinking.
been a great guest, man. Thank you.
Thank you, Al. It's an honor.
Guys,
we've been fans for years.
It's been a gas.
It's been fun.
Oh,
as hell.
good. I hope so.
Go see Al on tour. Listen to his podcast. And, Salamanca, you got anything?
Nothing I can plug.
Well,
Top secret.
as always, thank you to...
Ooh.
Exciting.
He's shooting something.
Well, thank you as always to Gotham Studios. Matt Peters, we love you. And we'll see you
Yes.
next week.
Here, here.
Sun